Huzzah and well met to all of you under my banners, especially those of you who like to hoard your wealth. And today, we're going to start our next serious playlist about how we store our items, or how we compact our items as we move them along. You might recognize these if you've seen some of my previous videos. These are all the ways we move our items from point A to point B. But what is point B, or what is our end point? We have a handful of ways that we store things in Minecraft. We have the large chest, or regular chest, and you can make it double by placing two next to each other. The same goes of the trap chest. And this mouse wheel is being a little finicky. The trap chest, if you have it connected to a hopper that's emptying it out, will not allow anything out while it's still open, while you're interacting with the inventory. But as soon as you close that lid, it will do whatever it needs to do. So it's a handy lock mechanism in case you don't want to accidentally throw something away, or you need a moment just to think about things. Next, we have shulker boxes. We get these from shulkers by two of their shells and a chest, and these can be filled up with stuff and taken with us, replaced and broken into our inventory. Now, in creative, it will keep making copies, but you can break the chest that you have after you filled it up with things and take it with you to your next project. With the ender chest, anything that you place in the ender chest, even another ender chest, will be in any ender chest that you open. This works cross-dimensionally, so any ender chest that you put something in, you will be able to take out. If you play on a realm, your friends can't look into your ender chest and take your things. They can break all of your ender chests, but if you place another one down, your things will still be stored safely inside in some sort of pocket storage dimension, I guess. You cannot hopper things into an ender chest, but any of these other ones you can use a hopper to place things into. Barrels are kind of neat. You can face them vertically if you'd like. They work exactly the same as a chest, but they also count as a solid block. So we can fill them up and use them as a solid block in a redstone situation, and also measure their contents with a comparator. So they're very versatile, and you can set them right next to a chest or a trap chest without anything connecting. Finally, if you really want to, you can put things in a chest in a minecart. But there's many better uses for chests with minecarts with chests, and minecarts with hoppers are even further more useful than that. So let's get on to what we're here to actually talk about, is these storage silos. Now you'll see these are all lit up because all of these boxes are full or mostly full with diamonds. And what these do is send all of your items. These two will send all of your items all the way to the bottom. Well, this one's not running. This one is. And you'll see all of these diamonds backing up in the very bottom of this chest. And to speed things along here, we'll send all of these in, or most of these in. Right now it's hard to tell because what's happening in the background is that anytime an item passes through one of these hoppers, we're using a comparator to detect that. How this will function in the end is when this box is full up, this hopper will begin to fill up. Now, because there's any items in here, we're getting a signal at all. So we'll stop that. Now all of the items have moved down. Nothing more is moving down. So that will cause this redstone lamp to light up, and you will know there's a chest on each layer and a hopper. We're measuring from the hopper, not the chest, but as soon as there's one item in the hopper facing into the full chest, you'll know that chest is full on that level. And these are great storage silo or storage options because all of your storage will come down to the very bottom. The biggest problem that we will see with these is that if something falls in here that is not supposed to be in here, you have to come back here and search through each individual chest, or you have to start emptying things out from the bottom until your errant item makes its way all the way down. You can build these as tall as you want. We're currently at, I think, Y level 4. You can build these all the way up to build height and they will continue to work. So this one is called a series silo, or at least that's what I call it. And this one is just a regular silo or an array silo. And you will see these ones are filling up about the same way, except that all of the hoppers are on one side. And when this fills up to finish or to fully fill this chest, and then this hopper fills up fully with all 5 stacks, it will start filling this next chest and hopper. Everything will move as far down as it possibly can until it gets in a chest. So items that land in this chest will not proceed downward to this bottom chest, which is why you need to have access to all of these, and ultimately why I chose to build at 7 height, because this is the tallest we can actually reach. Unfortunately, I've placed a concrete block up there to lock the hopper. That's not part of the build, but we'll go over that in a moment. And we'll back up so you can see both of these. But if you have an item that lands in this top chest and you're unable to reach, or a higher chest anyways, and you're unable to reach it, then there it's just stuck. You'll have to build your way up or use some scaffolding or ladders or something to make your way up there. So to back up and show you what's going on here, we can build them mirrored. We have the redstone lamps on the left or on the right. They go either way, and I'll show you in the back here. All we have is a comparator looking at the hopper, powering a concrete block, and that concrete block will power this redstone dust, or this redstone lamp, excuse me. Then, since we can't just stack comparators on top of each other, we'll have a comparator looking at this hopper. So our first lamp is looking at this hopper. This is our second hopper, and our comparator is here, powering this block, powering a repeater to this concrete block, to this redstone lamp. And because there's even a single item in any of these hoppers until this thing empties its way out, you'll get all of these lights lit up until there's something or nothing in the hopper to detect. Once this bottom box fills up, which is shortly, well, we're not going to sit and wait for that, but we'll keep talking. Once that fills up, then there will always be an item in this hopper to tell us that this chest is full. And once this chest fills up and the hopper fills up, then this hopper has a singular item in it. Our second lamp will stay lit. So we'll come back and demonstrate that in a moment when it finally fills up. This one will work the same way, but the circuits are built a little bit differently because the hoppers are all on the same side. So instead of pointing the hopper, or excuse me, the redstone comparator from the hopper right there, our hopper is forward and we need to add a little more here. So we set the comparator facing backwards into a concrete block, into a repeater, into a concrete block, into a repeater again, and another concrete block. So these ones are a little more convenient for getting to any and all of your supplies or bulk storage, but they do cost an extra set of repeaters for every level, or an extra repeater for every level. But the choice is up to you. Either one is good. If you would like, you can build yourself a silo where you can reach all the way to the very bottom one. It seems that we can reach down 6 layers, and then we could reach up a further 7 layers. So perhaps a 12 or 13 tall stack with some sort of balcony in the center area so you can reach all of your things is how you would like to build that. So a couple considerations. These can be built mirrored facing directly next to each other, and these circuits will not bother each other. Your comparators are looking from the hoppers, powering into the concrete block, repeater, block, repeater, block, lamp. On the other side, you can see they're just facing away from each other. Works just fine. Does not get entangled at all. The same can be said for this. Once again, these use fewer concrete blocks and repeaters, but you do need to consider covering them up unless you want to have access, I suppose, not need. Um, want to have access to these chests in case something errantly falls in there. Like I said, it's your biggest headache is if something gets in there that's not supposed to be, you either have to wait a long time and unload from the bottom or tear things apart and go searching. And this will be an even bigger headache if you place the chests right next to each other, because yes, you can look in there and open them, but it can be difficult to target that. Finally, you can build them with the redstone lamps next to each other, and because the repeater will power the block in front of it, but not enough to power this block and then the lamp, you won't have your circuits crossing and you won't have incorrect information in here. One final consideration for storage silos, and this works for both of them. This is just the bottom level of either type of silo. And what happens here is we'll simulate that this chest is full. And that chest is full, and now you have items here. And this comparator sees that there's items in the hopper, and it powers this block, which does turn on your redstone lamp. However, you can see that your item is not going to be allowed out of this hopper because this concrete block is powering your hopper, which means it's locked and your items will not make it down to your chest. So if you're going to build one of these in I suppose, a series unto itself, you'll have to leave a space between them. And you'll have to have your lamp placed one block away. Place a diamond there as a spacer. And then your chest and your hopper. Oop, we broke our comparator, but there's a lot of them laying around here. We'll place one there, one there. We've used our diamond as a spacer. Pretend that box is full. Something's in the hopper. Lights up. This one works just fine. And our shulker box full of diamonds made it in to the chest. So, once you're done with all of that, you can decorate around them however you want. Your input is going to be this top hopper here, not necessarily that one, but depending on what you're building, you don't want to have, say, a shulker box loader too close to this because then you'll get the signals confused and they will lock up the hoppers up top here. But that'll be for another video. And really, that's all I have for you today. It's kind of interesting to come back after 2 years and redo the first video I had ever done, these storage silos. And I'm excited to have all of you here. Maybe you haven't seen that video. Maybe you have. Like I said, happy to have you. Happy to renegotiate these different builds. And I hope you're blessed on your next quest. And I'm off to my next adventure, which is bed. Have a good night, everyone.